Good afternoon, everybody. Michael Soothing here. I thought today we would do a little taste test, kind of like we did before, only today, Oberto Beef Jerky. Now the thing about, as I've mentioned 8 million times, I struggle with high blood sugar. So one of the best things to do is have something high protein, high fiber. Well, meat doesn't have actual fiber in it, of course. It can be fibrous, but it doesn't have plant fiber, as we all know, as someone pointed out to me once when I made that silly error by saying it had fiber. But nonetheless, it does have fibrous material. It takes a long time to digest this, and doesn't spike your blood sugar, but helps you feel full while giving you lots of protein. So the ingredients are, of course, beef, sugar for the curing, not very much, water. See, this one is peppered. I like it real spicy, see? Nothing artificial, it says. Peppered beef jerky. Premium steak with natural smoke flavor. I happen to prefer this particular brand. Minimally processed, gluten-free. Yeah, there's not a lot of wheat in beef, is there? Made in the USA. Oh, it says made in the USA, but look at the fine print. This is funny. Made in the USA from U.S. or imported beef. See there? So beef jerky's a little bit expensive, but it goes a long way because you have to chew it forever, right? Which helps you feel full if you're trying to keep your calories and stuff down. And look, this has an open and reseal feature, see? Open and reseal. So if we can get this open without making too much of a racket, let's see. Oh yeah, no prob. Easier to open this than to run a political convention, I'll say. Let's do the sniff test first. Smells like good beef jerky to me, although I detect a little too much sweetness in the scent. The thin style, they also make a thin style that's more peppery and more salty and less sugar. So next time I'm gonna buy that, because I can already tell by the scent of this. It's very thick also. The thin style is really skinny little pieces, about the width of a playing card, you know. Okay, maybe a little thicker than that, but you know, let's take a little bite of this for a first impression. This is why you don't get too many calories. Because now I'll spend the next half hour trying to eat this. And for those of you who don't like ASMR eating videos, I'll try to put a disclaimer in the title or the description. look at this. The woman of the house here loves cats. So there's a cat Duraplay ball. If I was to squeeze it, it would make a very loud squeak. It's bacon scented. Oh, this is for dogs, not cats. I was gonna say, cats don't like the smell of bacon so much. This is for the little dog that comes to visit on occasion. Okay, now the pepper's getting to me. And I forgot to bring my ice water over here to the table. So I'll have to pause for a moment, if you don't mind. You'll notice that the ice water that was behind me back there is now in my hand instead. I always kind of like this sound as far as ASMR goes. Anyway, this beef jerky is very spicy. Why does YouTube always choose to try to make me do my water drinking frame as the thumbnail, I wonder? It likes that for some reason. Don't know if it will do it this time. Oh, by the way, I was going to tell you, I told you it's a huge heat wave here, so I have a different hat today. I don't know if you can tell, but it's completely soaking wet to keep my head cool. This hat is called an Australian soaker, and the whole point of it is, can you see the little holes? Can you see all the little holes in it? It breathes. What you do with it is you run it under cold water. Get it good and soaking wet. Then stick it on your head, and it breathes really well and keeps your whole head and body cool for a while. All right, back to the beef jerky. I know they do this to keep the moisture and oxides down, but it's still a little disturbing to see a white packet in your food, you know? And for people that might not have a super high IQ, this really does seal itself up. It always says something like, do not eat this. Yeah. Do not eat, it says on it. Do not eat. O20. It's an oxygen absorber so that you can retard spoilage. Because as you all know, well, I have an aerospace background, rocket science, as you know, and oxygen is a very reactive molecule, an element. It combines with things to cause rust and decay and all kinds of other bad byproducts. You know, some of them we want to have, like silicon oxide, but others we don't. Also, you don't want a lot of free radical oxygen molecules running around in your body. So that's why you take antioxidants. There used to be a fad, I think it was in the 80s, where they would set up oxygen. It was kind of like having a Starbucks, but it was for an oxygen hit. You'd go there and pay a little money and suck in some pure oxygen. This was supposed to be so healthy and invigorating. But what they didn't tell those poor people is you're filling your body with free radicals when you do that, or the building blocks, shall we say, for free radicals. Reactive oxygen particles. ROS is another term for some of those. All right, I had one little bite, and I'm feeling satisfied already. But I'll have one more, then I'll be good from now until dinner, which is still a few hours away. It's a little too sweet. I knew that might be the case when I saw the sugar as the second ingredient. Now I'll have to do a future video showing you the thin style and doing a taste test comparison to this thick stuff. They both say peppered beef jerky, and it's the same company, but the thin style's way better, in my opinion. This is just too sweet. Let's see what it says. They have a whole big story back here. Somebody decided to write a novel on the back of the beef jerky bag. And this is what the novel says. You don't just wake up great one day. That's not the way it works. One second. Someone, maybe my parents, said, it's rude to talk with your mouth full. And I always thought to myself, if that's the case, why is it my parents were always talking with their mouth full? I don't know. Anyway, I was just too rebellious a child, you know. Okay, you don't just wake up great. That's not the way it works. What you get out of life is directly related to what you put into it. I'm not so sure I agree with that. So if you think you can cut corners, skip workouts, and deny your body the fuel it needs, there will be benches for you to ride and records for you to miss. Benches for you to ride. And records for you to miss. But if you believe that excellence is something earned, tear open a bag. We've got work to do. That might be one of the most unusual pieces of literature I've ever found on a food container. It's an interesting advertising ploy. If you don't think you need workouts and you deny your body the fuel it needs, there will be benches for you to ride. I'm gonna have to look that up. That's a phrase I haven't heard before for calling someone a slacker. I've heard of a couch potato, okay? Maybe they could have said there'll be couches for you to exercise on. I don't know. Anyway. Records for you to miss. Not sure what that means either. Do they mean physical training, Olympic event records? I guess if you have some of this, you can make a new record in one of the Olympic guess they're implying that. That might be a little bit hyperbolous, but nonetheless. Let's see what the date is on this thing. Best Buy, 16th of August, 2017. Wow. You mean this will still be okay a year from now? Makes you wonder what kind of preservative. But it says nothing artificial. I wonder if someone can give me a definition for artificial, because most nasty chemicals are made from natural ingredients, okay? Not artificial. So, gluten for, okay. How much did this cost? I think this was $5.99. But it's gonna last me a couple of weeks because I can only eat a little bit at a time. I'm already ready for ice water again because of the peppers. Ice water tastes really good on a hot day if you've eaten something with red pepper in it. Okay. Consume or refrigerate within 3 days of opening for maximum freshness and flavor. So I guess the 1 year shelf life is when we keep the oxygen out of it. By keeping it sealed and having this little do not eat oxygen sucker bag inside. It's like a silica that absorbs and sucks up all the oxygen. They put those in electronic equipment also. Isn't that strange? The same thing they put in electronics to keep it fresh. In the case of electronics, it's so you don't have oxygen attacking solder joints and things, creating silver oxides and aluminum oxides and tin oxides, all that kind of thing, right? Eating away at your important electrical connections, so that when you get that cheap piece of gear that was made in China, it fails as soon as you turn it on. Yeah. Which reminds me, I'm gonna do an unboxing video for you of a new microphone. It's a recorder, actually, that makes MP3s in very high quality, with very high quality microphones on it. Well, reasonably high quality. So I'll do the unbox for you. Premium steak. Wonder what cut of steak they made this out of. I probably don't want to know, right? But whatever cut of strange part of the steak it was, it's premium, right? Alright, so sometime on another video, we'll talk about cards. I promised to come back and do another poker lesson for you Hold'em poker fans. And so we will do that on a not too distant future video, alright? And I'll try to give you an actual poker lesson with some genuine, fairly basic strategy tips for those of you who might be beginner players, want to get on a site and play Hold'em poker or something like that. Or if you go in an actual casino, we'll try to keep you from getting run over right away by some of the better experts there. So I'm not going to say I'm an expert or a world-class player, but I have had some good success. I'm gonna have to whisper the final part of this. Voice from the heat getting a little bit. I think I'll squirt myself with the water ball. You know, that works better if you take your glasses off first. Now I'm looking at you through a bunch of bubbly water, okay? Has a nice psychedelic effect, though, in a way, you know. I don't mind it too much. You don't always want to see everything in life crystal clear. Like when I look in a mirror, I'd rather see a blur sometimes than really good high definition clarity, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna have another sip of water. And then say good afternoon for now and give you the advice that I always give you, which is don't ASMR and drive. Take care, everyone. Until next time. Yeah. Love you all. Hope to provide a relaxing, peaceful, soothing moment for you with this video. Okay. Bye.